It is Tuesday, which of course means it's time for me to answer the questions that you guys send in each and every single week on the BrendenPlayz forums at BrendenPlayz.com/forums or in the YouTube comments section down below. But today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We're going to dedicate the whole thing to Wrestlemania, which is just 5 days away, 6 days away. It's not too far away at all. I'm getting pumped up. And I think this Wrestlemania is going to be really good, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people have been saying it's going to be shitty, it's pretty lackluster. The build-up for it, I will admit, overall, has been pretty shitty. But I still think a lot of these matches are going to deliver, and I think I'm going to come away from WrestleMania generally pretty happy. So what I'm going to do for today's episode of Let's Talk Tuesdays, I'm just going to run through all the matches on WrestleMania, and I'm just going to talk WrestleMania. I won't actually be answering any of your guys' questions. I know I said, next week's all WrestleMania themed. I'm pretty much just going to talk about every single match, give my predictions, and I'm pretty sure I'll run through and answer all your questions about WrestleMania anyways without me having to bring it up on the screen. So we'll just do that. Before we get into that, I want to talk about the Mexican wrestler that died over the weekend. I'm sure you all know by now, Rey Mysterio was in a tag match with Mexican wrestler I'm going to butcher his name. I apologize to everyone out there. El Hijo del Perro Aguayo. So he died in the ring, and it was completely accidental from what I can see. It seemed very strange what actually went down. So what happened, I think Rey Mysterio, he kicked him in the throat or in the neck or something, and then he landed on the ropes and to whiplash. I think he had some spinal issues, something like that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the specifics. I don't think anybody really knows the specifics so far. But yeah, it was a really strange, out of the blue kind of thing. And I watched the clip, and I was watching it going, oh my god, I don't want to see this. This is going to be gruesome. This guy's going to land on his neck horribly. Something's going to snap. It's going to be dreadful. I watched the clip, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? He just randomly was laying on the ropes, and he was out of it. He was just done. I was just like, what the hell? It was crazy. It was very strange, and we had Conan shaking him about, trying to get him up, and he wasn't sure what's going on. I think really the Mexican promotion, whatever it was, I don't know, the independent promotion that it was held at, they're probably at fault here somewhat because they were very slow to react. And I know that they're probably thinking in their mind, how do we know that this guy's out of it? They probably don't realize the magnitude of what could have happened just then, because it wasn't really if you watch that back, you don't really see what happens. You don't really notice that anything gruesome happens or anything like that. Other deaths, that probably something's gone wrong, but this one, it just seems like your regular spot to get him on the ropes for the 619, but he never got up. Thankfully, Rey Mysterio didn't connect with him in the head with the 619. He actually missed the move because I'm guessing he kind of realized that he was out of position or something. He realized something was wrong. He came over to kind of check on him, and I think he knew that something was wrong. They finished the match. They got him out of the ring, and then I didn't really watch from there on because they're shoving something down his throat or something like that, and that kind of freaks me out. So I didn't watch that, but yeah, they were a bit slow to react. Apparently the doctor was held up backstage as well, attending to somebody else. So it was probably a poor effort on their part to kind of get him out of there and get him to hospital ASAP. But I think, it's Mexico. I don't think, if this was like the WWE or something like that, I think, they would have had him out straight away. They would have called the doctors down and called that match off, I think. But, yeah, just a tragic accident. I certainly don't blame Rey Mysterio for what happened. Like I said, he's done that 1,000 times, and we've seen nothing ever happen before. It was just a freak accident, and a lot of people have been trolling Mysterio online, saying whatever about him, and that's completely wrong in my opinion. I just don't see how Rey Mysterio can really be at fault. He probably connected with the neck or whatever he did, but I don't think he's really to blame. Some people writing on Twitter that he murdered him or something like that. It's just ridiculous. So it's just a freak accident, and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family, but it's a crazy time, and it just goes to show anything can happen in the ring. Things do go wrong in the ring, and people say it's fake, but real injuries do happen. People can get hurt, and hell, people can die in the ring. It's just just how it goes. And I guess that's some of the risks that you take entering the ring, and I suppose you never really think that something like that can happen, but sometimes it can. Okay, so now we'll move on to WrestleMania 31, and I want to start it off with the kickoff matchup. It's the WWE Tag Team Championship match, Cesaro and Kid versus the New Day versus Los Matadors and the Usos. It's a fatal 4-way tag team match. I don't even know if I really want to watch this one, because to me it just seems awful. I mean, the New Day, nobody cares about them. The Los Matadors, no one has ever cared about them. They are, I don't know why they keep throwing them out just to kind of fill in the numbers. I mean, surely they could have... Surely you would have put the Ascension or something in now. I mean, at least the Ascension had a decent start. Yeah, they've been doing horrible now, but come on, at least they're better than the Matadors. So, in that way, you'd have 2 heel tag teams versus 2 babyface tag teams. Now they have 3 face tag teams and 1 heel tag team. So, I don't know what the decision there is. So, I'm sure they probably would have thought about the Ascension first, and then I guess they changed their mind when they realized that they're a major fail. But I think Cesaro and Kid are going to be walking away with the tag titles. The only chance of them losing is the Usos, but I think they're going to be continuing to push Cesaro and Kid. I think they're doing pretty well as a tag team. I'm liking the Natalya pair up as well, and that skit on Raw with Tyson Kidd and Natalya, I found that pretty entertaining. So I am liking them, but I've been finding myself, I've been skipping all the matches. Every 2 weeks in a row, I have skipped the tag team match with the Matadors and Cesaro and Kid or whatever. I mean, what was it, a 6-man interspecies match or something? Like, come on, it's just unbearable. Anything that has to do with the Los Matadors, I skip. They are now on Adam Rose and Santino level for me. They are officially on my shit list. I don't want to watch them, and I don't even think I'll watch this match. I mean, if it's later on in the pre-show, maybe, but I don't really want to have to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning, I think it'll be, to watch this match. So that to me is a no-no. I'm sure it'll probably come on at the 1 hour mark of the pre-show, so it might be 8 a.m. And I don't really want to wake up just to watch that crap, so I think I'll pass. I don't even think I'll watch the pre-show, to be honest with you. 4 hours of WrestleMania might be enough for me. I don't know. I might tune in to some of it to kind of hype me up a little bit. Depends how I'm feeling. But like I said, I think Cesaro and Kid will win this one, and they'll probably pin the Matadors. So, all right. So we'll move on to the match that I probably think is going to open WrestleMania, and that's the Intercontinental Championship matchup. It's a 7-man ladder match. We have R-Truth. We have Luke Harper, Stardust, Ambrose, Bryan, Barrett, and Ziggler. And heavy rumors that Sheamus might join in that match. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Sheamus is going to be in the Battle Royal, but we'll talk about that one later. But IC title match, I think this could be the match of the night. I think this match will be a great way to open WrestleMania, so I hope they do open WrestleMania with it. And if this match goes to 25 minutes long, the crowd's going to be really pumped and, buzz for the rest of the night, I think. That'd be a great way to kick it off. So I think this match will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. My predictions, I've been saying the whole time that Dean Ambrose should win. I think he's been like the main highlight of the whole feud. Recently, Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler getting a bit more of a spotlight as well. Bad News Barrett's been laying everyone out. So what they did on Raw, I kind of thought was pretty cool. Everyone was in there and they all got laid out. So it kind of leaves open the air. I don't really know who's going to win it 100%. It could go a different way. The heavy rumors that Daniel Bryan will win, and then they're going to have Cena and Bryan hold both titles. I don't think that's really the way to go, but if that's what they want to do, then okay. I don't really think Bryan holding the IC titles are really a good thing. I think Bryan should be probably feuding with Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship after WrestleMania. I think Bryan should be around that. Not winning it, but I think he should be feuding for it at least. And I would be keeping the IC title on Dean Ambrose. Let Ambrose be the guy to try and elevate the title. And you can have guys compete for it. Like I said with Rusev in the past, having Cena beat him does nothing for Rusev. It does nothing for Cena. If Rusev wins, then Rusev gets elevated and the US title gets elevated. So you want to have someone, a young guy, hold the title, but have these main guys feud with them and let the young guys get the victories. So then you elevate both these guys and the title at the same time. So I still think Dean Ambrose should get the win. Don't think Daniel Bryan needs to win it. If it's not Dean Ambrose, I could see Bad News Barrett somehow, some way escaping with the title. I think everyone might be down. He might come in at the end and pick up the pieces to walk away with the championship. Next up, we have the big Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial matchup, and I still think Ryback should win, but I feel as though Sheamus is going to come back, return in this match, and win it. If not, then I still think Ryback's my pick, but I really can see now the direction they seem to be pointing in my opinion, is Damien Mizdow probably winning it. I probably can see what everyone else is kind of predicting right now. The Miz, he might try and say to Sandow, eliminate yourself or whatever. Mizdow defies the Miz and eliminates the Miz and wins it. And then probably the next night on Raw, you know, the Miz is trying to demand Mizdow to give him the trophy because he's the rightful winner, because he's just his stunt double or assistant now. I can see that happening, and I think that's a nice little way to kind of kick it off and kick their feud off and make the trophy seem a little bit more meaningful. Because I guess if you have Sheamus or Ryback win, then what? You know, that's my kind of question. Then what? What do you do with them next? Because there's nothing else to really line up for them. So if Mizdow wins, you automatically have something to work off. So whilst I want Ryback to win, I think the better way to go probably will be Mizdow now that I think about it more. At least you have something to build off. At least you have a storyline to go on with it. And at least you have a reason, you know, to have Mizdow win, and then you have a feud to go off with it next, the Mizdow and Miz feud, which could go for a couple of months and, you know, get some pay-per-view matches out of it and be interesting. I think that'd be a good feud. I think that if done right, you know, it could be a really a good feud to kind of elevate Mizdow from that guy who's been just the comedy joke now to perhaps a more serious contender, and you elevate him to a new fan favorite, to something bigger and better. Okay, next up we'll do the Divas match. I don't think the Divas match will be on this early, but I think the Divas match will probably be on between the final two matches, whether that's Sting and Triple H, and then you have the Divas match and the World Title match. I don't know, but the Divas match, not a lot to say here. I still think the Bella Twins are going to win. I think they might do more of a dissension between AJ and Paige kind of storyline, so similar to what happened on Raw this week, I thought was going to happen at WrestleMania. So I don't know, they might have already pulled that trigger, and they might go the other way now. But I was always going to say that the Bella Twins will find a way to cheat and win, and then AJ and Paige, they'll argue, they'll fight, and they might try and build a new feud between those two, pick it up where they started before, and then, you know, those guys can battle out for the number one contender spot for Nikki's title. But as well as that, I could also see them now they did what they did on Raw, I can probably see them successfully teaming up and then, you know, probably fighting over who deserves to be the number one contender. Although I don't really think that's the way to go. I think the first idea is probably better, in my opinion. Have those two kind of feuded out. Probably turn AJ. I think AJ needs to turn. I'm just done with AJ, to be honest with you. I really don't care about her at all. So I really don't want her to win. I don't want her to be Divas champion either. So I'm just done with AJ. I'd much rather Paige at this point. But yeah, I still think the Bella Twins are going to win, probably by some bullshit kind of finish, you know, pull the tights, put the feet on the ropes, you know, something like that. Alright, so we'll do John Cena versus Rusev, the US title match. Like I said earlier, I think Rusev needs to win this one. John Cena winning does nothing, but then the question is, how does Rusev lose? How do you make Rusev lose? How do you have Rusev lose and keep him relevant? Does Rusev losing to John Cena hurt Rusev? I still think yes. I think Cena winning that US title does nothing for Cena, but Rusev beating Cena does everything for Rusev. And then you can have Rusev, you know, you can have him perhaps feud with Roman Reigns, you know, in the future for that world title. You know, you can start to really build Rusev as the next top monster heel, which I think is the way to go, because I think he's damn good. I think Rusev's got a big future. But having him lose to Cena, he has to lose sometime. So having him lose to Cena won't kill him too much. But, you know, having Cena with the US title, who the hell is going to beat Cena for the US title? That's my next question. When's Cena ever going to lose that goddamn thing? He might hold it forever. So, I don't know. I still think whether it's a DQ finish or something like that, I don't know. But I still think Rusev needs to win. And that's the way to go, because I think Rusev as US champion's much better, although they could have done a hell of a lot better job with their, you know, with his booking, making that US title even more degraded by Rusev, of course. Not, it's already degraded enough by everything else, but, Rusev degrading the title even more, maybe turning into the Russian Championship. I think that should have been the way to go. But I suppose it's not too late. I mean, if they want to have Rusev beat Cena and then have him come out the next night on Raw and have a huge celebration and, say, forget about the US title, it's now all about the Russian or the European title or something like that. I don't know, it could work, but I still don't see that happening. But Cena, I still think is my prediction to win, although I'd like to see Rusev get it done, but I think Cena will win. It'll be the feel-good American hero story. What's next, though? I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's next, because you'd have to say Cena will defend it successfully again against Rusev. Rusev's not just going to win it back the next night or the next pay-per-view, is he? I doubt it, so I don't know what's next. That's my next question. I mean, do you try and elevate that US title? I think that'd be good. I really want to see the US title be elevated, but I still think that Rusev could be the guy to do it. I don't know if Cena holding the title really does benefit all that much. I mean, yes, it gets a little bit more spotlight. You have a top guy hold it, but I mean, if you have Rusev beat Cena, beat some top guys, then you build a new star. Then you build a new top heel, and I think that's what they need. They don't need to keep pushing John Cena. They need to start pushing somebody else. And Rusev's the guy. Rusev's good, and I think Rusev could be a major player if they build him right. So, but he has to lose sometime, and Cena's a safe loss. But we've seen with many other times these guys getting fed to Cena and then really suffering afterwards. We just look at Bray Wyatt last year at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt was not the same for a long, long time. So I'm a little skeptical, a little concerned if Cena does win for Rusev's future. Alright, so next up we'll do Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. So this match I think could be one of the better matches of the show as well. I'm intrigued by this feud. I think this feud has been good. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Randy Orton since he's returned. A lot of people saying, what's the point now? Because Randy Orton's already got his revenge on Seth Rollins. But I suppose, I still think Randy Orton's got a lot more to do, a lot more to prove to Seth Rollins. And he would like to beat Seth Rollins in the ring clean. I don't know, but I still think that Randy Orton's the good choice here to win, but because I don't know, if you want to have Seth Rollins cash in later on or at the next night, you have to have Seth Rollins win. So if Rollins wins, I think a cash in is inevitable, but I think for the sake of the storyline, I think Randy Orton probably should win. Randy Orton, the babyface, should get his revenge at WrestleMania. That's probably the way to go. But it really could go either way. I don't know. I can see it going either way. Obviously, Seth Rollins is getting heavily pushed in recent months, so we could see Seth Rollins pick up the win and, start to move on to perhaps cashing that title in and even being the champion soon. Or, we could have Randy Orton win, look strong, and he could be a new contender for Roman Reigns. Or if Brock Lesnar retains, you could have Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. I don't know. So there's a lot of good options you could take there. But I still think Randy Orton's going to win. But like I said, this one is one of those matches that could really go either way. And there's quite a few on WrestleMania that could really go either way. Alright, so we'll do one of the next big matches on the card, one of the big marquee matches. Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. This is obviously The Undertaker's first match since WrestleMania 30 where he lost the streak. So many are saying, what's the point of this match? What's Undertaker got to prove here? Bray Wyatt wants to prove that he is the new leader of darkness, leader of evil, whatever the hell he's saying. And by the way, Bray Wyatt probably cut the best promo of his career on Raw this week. Absolutely amazing promo. Every word was brilliant. So good. And that's the promo that I've wanted for him because he's really struggled in recent months in his promos. Not from his delivery or anything like that. It's just been kind of the same old. It's just been, okay, yeah, whatever. But tonight, he really was on point. Every word meant something, and it was just a really good way to kind of pump you up for that match. And yet you can see what this match means to Bray Wyatt now. So this is a really interesting one because a lot of people are just divided on this. Is this going to be The Undertaker's last match? If it is, should The Undertaker lose 2 years in a row? My take personally, I think there's no way that Bray Wyatt is winning this match. And I say this because Bray Wyatt has had every single amount of airtime for the match. Undertaker's been nowhere to be seen, so Bray Wyatt has carried the whole feud. everything that's been done in the feud has been done by Bray Wyatt, except one little thing on the Titantron. Bray Wyatt's done everything. Undertaker, his first match, first appearance in a year. You think he's going to lose? He's going to have the big special WrestleMania entrance. The crowd's going to go nuts for him. Potentially his last match, although I still think he's got one more in him for 32. Hoping it's against Sting, I don't know. But potentially his last match. So, Undertaker, in my opinion, if he loses 2 years in a row, not only does that kind of ruin the streak's legacy a little bit, but it also ruins Brock Lesnar as well, because Brock Lesnar's no longer the one guy to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's now the second guy. Like, two guys have done it. Bray Wyatt's done it now, so it's not as meaningful. So Brock Lesnar takes a hit from it, which isn't a bad thing if he's going to UFC. If he's not, it's a bad thing. But Taker losing 2 years in a row just doesn't sit well with me. And his last match being with Bray Wyatt doesn't sit well with me either. Whilst I think Bray Wyatt is the new top heel of the company for the future, I still think that I would like to see that dream match of Sting and Undertaker. Especially Undertaker and Sting both kill it at WrestleMania. If they both have great performances, we got to see it. We have to see it before it's all said and done. Otherwise, it'll be one of those matches that got away. The what if, what could have been match. So, the streak is no longer important. The streak's out of the way. It's now, can the Undertaker still go? Is the Undertaker, has he still got it? And can Bray Wyatt prove that he is the new leader of evil? So, I'm intrigued from it. I think the Undertaker's going to win, and I think Taker will win barely. Bray Wyatt's going to get a lot of offense in, but Undertaker he'll get a tombstone in at the end, and he'll just beat Bray Wyatt and prove that he's better than Bray. But, I hope this is a good one. I hope Undertaker kills it, because a lot of people are saying Undertaker's done. And, I say in his defense, he had a concussion for half the match. And, I just think that the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar match, I never expected it to be all that great, to be honest, because it's just a bit of a mismatch in styles. It just, the matchup itself on paper looks good, but I just don't think it was ever going to be a 5-star classic. And I don't think this one will be either. Bray Wyatt, whilst he's pretty good in the ring, I just don't think he's ever really delivered a classic match. And I don't know if he's capable of doing that with The Undertaker at this point. But I still think it'll be good. I still think I'm going to enjoy it. I don't think it'll be all that long. I think maybe 15 minutes tops. And I think we'll have Bray Wyatt and Undertaker probably have like a 5-minute entrance themselves. So I think the entrances might be even longer than the match in the end. But it should be fun. It should be a spectacle. And it should be great to see The Undertaker in the ring again. Hopefully getting the victory. And now one of the most anticipated matches for me, Sting and Triple H. This is going to be great. Cannot wait to see Sting in the ring. Finally having a match in the WWE. It was great to see him on Raw again. I wasn't sure if he was going to turn up, but hey, he opened Raw. That was awesome. Little disappointed though that Sting and Triple H didn't go at it. I would have liked to see Triple H get his hands on Sting and, at least hit a pedigree, do something to Sting, but it was a little disappointing that none of that ever ended up happening. So I was a little frustrated, but that wasn't the worst kind of decision in the end. I mean, we'll talk about what's going to happen afterwards, but I think this match should be great. I think this is going to be my most anticipated match. I just want to see how Sting's going to go. I just want to see Sting have that great WrestleMania moment just for Sting. Obviously, Sting, he was on top in his prime before I was even born, really. So I never really got Sting in his prime. But now I get to see Sting in the WWE finally having a match, and just be great to see as a wrestling fan. I have gone back and seen a lot of Sting stuff, and Sting is pretty awesome. So I think it'd be great to see him have that feel-good moment at WrestleMania, have his WrestleMania moment. There's no way Triple H is going to win. There's no way 14 years in the making Sting has his first match and loses. There's no way. So Sting is definitely winning. I know he just turned 56, but I still think he can go. He looks pretty good. Will he have the t-shirt on? I don't know, but even if he does, who cares? Let's just hope Sting has a good performance, and I think Sting and Triple H are going to have a great match. Still would have thought that this match should have been no holds barred or something like that, just to help out a little bit. Obviously these guys are brawlers, so at this point, so I still think, Triple H, the sledgehammer versus Sting's bat would have been good, but, whatever. So, looking forward to it. but I think Sting's going to get the win, and this leads us to our final match, Lesnar versus Reigns, WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Alright, so let me just say, this week on Raw, honestly, the worst finishing, the worst possible outcome, the worst possible way to hype you up to WrestleMania was done on this week's Raw. Two big guys, Brock Lesnar as well, one of those guys, fighting over the title, having tug-of-war. Like, what the fuck was that? I finished watching Raw, and I said to myself, what the hell was that? What was that? It was just, all you had to do was have these guys brawl, have these guys start punching each other, and maybe, you know, Brock Lesnar picks him up, tackles him, and, you know, takes him down, gets some punches in, and the referees and these guys come out, and Lesnar and Reigns are still going at it, they're still beating each other up and everything like that, and then you have so many guys come out and, you know, they break away from each other and get some more lefts and rights in, and then you have the whole roster coming out to try and stop them. You have everyone out there stopping these guys. It would just been a great moment. It just been a great way to sell the match. Instead, we had two guys fighting over the title. It just looked childish. It looked like two kids fighting over a toy. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that was their only confrontation. Their one and only. They built this up all week. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, they're going to go face to face, and that's what happens. That was so disappointing. Horrible decision. And whoever decided to book that, slap yourself. That was dreadful. Really bad. You could have just easily had these guys brawl. The crowd would have been pumped. The crowd was flat. Nobody was into it. And Raw just ended like out of nowhere. Just went, okay, Raw's done. It was just like, what the fuck was that? It was just awful. And the build-up towards this match as a whole, why was this the first time they've ever gone face-to-face just days before WrestleMania is beyond me as well. I don't know why they didn't have these two guys when Lesnar was on Raw come out, you know, I don't know why. I mean, how many times have we seen Lesnar walk out next to Heyman, just stand around next to Heyman while Heyman's cutting a promo and then nothing happens? Where's Roman Reigns? Why is he coming out to talk to Lesnar face-to-face? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, this whole build-up has been pretty lackluster. I still think the match, in my opinion, is going to be good. I know a lot of people are shitting on Roman Reigns. Oh, he can't wrestle. He's this, he's that. I still think Reigns is going to bring out some more moves. He's going to kill it. WrestleMania is going to be... This match is going to be a good way to finish WrestleMania. The only problem that I have is the crowd. The crowd, I think, will boo Roman Reigns. I think the crowd will cheer Brock Lesnar. But is that the right call? You know, should we be booing the fact that Roman Reigns is going to be the next world champion? Should we be booing the fact that we are trying, the WWE is trying to build a new top guy, a new main event guy, something that we've all been clamoring about for years now? Why aren't they building new talent? Where's all the new talent? They're trying to do it now. Roman Reigns, Royal Rumble winner, they've been building up for years. You have him beat Brock Lesnar, you build and you make a new star. So why are we shitting on this now? Especially against a guy like Brock Lesnar, who I love Brock Lesnar, but as a part-time champion, I think that needs to go. I think that has run its course. I think it's time to have a full-time champion again. So, why are people shitting on that? Is it because it's just Roman Reigns? If it was anybody else, fine. But is it because it's just Roman Reigns? Is it because we don't have Daniel Bryan in the main event? By the way, I'm so glad they're not doing that. I don't know, but I think Roman Reigns has a huge future. He's got the look, he's got the size, he can go on the ring, he's getting better all the time. You know, you gotta remember, Daniel Bryan's been wrestling for 15 years. Roman Reigns has been wrestling for like 4 years. That's a huge difference. So Roman Reigns is still young, he's still learning his craft. In 2-3 years time, I think Roman Reigns is going to be able to put on these classic matches. So is it too early for Roman Reigns? I still think now's a good time. Why not? You know, why wait? If we wait long enough, if we wait another year, who knows where he could be? He could be, the crowd could be completely distant from him. Nobody could give a fuck about him. So, whilst he's doing good, whilst he's on top, whilst majority of the crowd still like him, I mean, the boos have certainly gone away now. It's a good time. You know, at least test the waters, give him a run for a few months at least, have Seth Rollins cash in if you have to. But I think Roman Reigns is the right way to go. And if Brock Lesnar is leaving, well then you can easily have the turn. Easily. Paul Heyman. Have him align himself with with Roman Reigns. If the crowd is shitting on Reigns, say fuck it, let's turn Reigns. And then you have a new top heel. Then you immediately open the door for a John Cena, for a Randy Orton, for a Daniel Bryan, for hell, a Dean Ambrose, if he's gonna get there. You immediately open the door for all these new potential feuds. Because if Roman Reigns wins, who do you feud him with? Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, who else? So that's the kind of the question there. So maybe a turn needs to happen. And if you align him with Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns could just stand there all day, baby, and Paul Heyman can just talk and talk and talk, and it will work. And the reason why it didn't work with Cesaro and Curtis Axel and even Ryback is because they didn't have the faith in them. It just didn't seem right. You know, Curtis Axel, it just isn't good enough. Cesaro is great, but I just don't think he was ready for that type of big push. You know, I think Cesaro is still destined to be in the mid-card for a little bit longer, so it was probably too soon to try and elevate him. Whereas Roman Reigns, I think the crowd can buy into him being a main event guy now. So you have Paul Heyman come out and talk for him, people are going to listen. People are going to believe it. And Paul Heyman has put over Roman Reigns like crazy, and you know, it was even interesting here on Raw. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but when Brock Lesnar started talking about, well, Paul Heyman started talking about Brock Lesnar's family, Brock Lesnar was a little bit like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, where are you getting at? He was like giving Paul Heyman a bit of a look, and that was, I don't know if that's just me drawing on anything, but it seemed as though maybe a little bit of dissension there. I don't know, but potentially some seeds are starting to be planted. So I personally think that it'd be a great way to start his title reign, and rather than the crowd shitting on it and Roman Reigns trying to act like a babyface and everybody booing him out of the building, he aligns himself with Paul Heyman, says fuck you to all the fans, and there you go. You got a reason to tune in the next night, and Roman Reigns doesn't look like an idiot, and the WWE don't look like idiots. You know, you got a new top heel. I don't know, but I still think Roman Reigns is the way to go. If Brock Lesnar does win, then you just basically built Roman Reigns up for a couple years now, all for nothing, for only to get beat. And if Brock Lesnar does beat Roman Reigns, then who the hell beats Brock Lesnar? Randy Orton? He's really the only choice. The Rock? There's really nobody else. So Roman Reigns is the right guy. I think Roman Reigns it's his time, and he deserves to get the opportunity. So I think he's going to walk away as the champ. Whether he's a heel or babyface, I don't know. I think it could go either way at this point. I'm sure they're still tossing and turning about it. His new shirt, his new catchphrase, I can and I will, perhaps is leaning towards more staying the babyface, and they're just going to roll with that. I don't know. But looking forward to WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a great show. Let me know what you guys are thinking about all the matches on WrestleMania. Give me your thoughts and predictions on them all. I'd love to see what you guys are thinking. And I'll definitely be tuning in. If you guys want to chat with me about WrestleMania live, and then, you know, after the show, or even before the show, come to the BrendenPlayz forums. I'll be on the chat live, as well as many other wrestling fans. They're going to be on my chat live. We're going to be chatting WrestleMania as it's on. So if you want to discuss WrestleMania as it's on live, that's the place to do it. Should be good. Should have a lot of people in there chatting about WrestleMania. It should be a big, big show. Don't miss it. And definitely come onto the forums and chat about it during and afterwards as well. BrendenPlayz.com/forums. It's also the place to go if you want to leave a question for next week's episode. We'll be back to normal scheduling for Let's Talk Tuesdays next week. So make sure you do leave a question for next week's episode in the comment section down below, or over at the forums, BrendenPlayz.com/forums. Follow me on Twitter. We're almost at 1,000 followers. Please help me get to 1,000 followers. At BrendenPlayz is the Twitter handle for you. Enjoy WrestleMania, guys. I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next Tuesday.